Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Kris, or welcome if you're new. This is a new channel, 38 subscribers. I'm the first thumbs up on that. It's got like I think 40 videos. But anyways, this is 1492, Christopher Columbus' first voyage, and its complex legacy. So we're gonna check this out. If I like the video, I'll maybe check out some of the others. Oh, come on. There. If I like it, I'll check out some others. Let me know. If not, no harm, no foul. Let's get into the video.
Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. Today, it's all about 1492 Christopher Columbus's voyage.
Yes.
But not the school version.
No.
We're going deeper based on all the fascinating research you sent in.
Really digging into what it all meant, not just the, ships and dates.
Right, exactly.
This is about how individual ambition,
Yeah.
global trade, monarchs, all of that collided and reshaped the world,
Okay, so buckle up. Picture it. Late 1400s Europe. Everyone wants that road to the east. Spices, silks, the good stuff. Right.
Right.
But the Ottomans control the land routes.
Yeah, they're sitting there not keen on sharing.
Not in a sharing mood.
No, and this is where someone like Columbus comes in.
Perfect timing, right.
He is a product of this time, this economic pressure.
Yeah.
It's not just some explorer, it's
Figure.
he's born in Genoa, Italy, big maritime center, sees all this firsthand.
So he gets it.
Yeah, he gets the rewards, the risks, the whole deal.
But for years, right, he's pitching this westward route.
Oh, years, trying to convince people, look, you can go this way.
And finally, boom. King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella of Spain.
Talk about a power couple.
Newly unified Spain, they want wealth, they want influence.
They see Columbus and they're like, this is our guy.
Take it to the top.
But they weren't just, handing over a blank check.
No.
The agreement capitulations of Santa Fe, it's fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Columbus gets admiral title, governor of anything he finds, and D, a cut of the profits.
So high stakes, high reward.
Exactly.
Makes you think, what agreements are we making NW that'll seem wild later on?
Right. History in the making, always.
Okay, so August 1492, we've got the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina setting sail.
The famous three.
Now, I always pictured, tiny kind of rickety ships.
Oh, yeah, braving the unknown.
Right. But what do the sources say?
Santa Maria, actually pretty sizable for its time. And those others, the Pinta, the Nina, those were caravels, fast, made for exploration.
Purpose built.
And this is key, the crew, 90-ish people, it's not just sailors.
What else?
Carpenters, coopers, the barrel makers.
Like they were planning to stay somewhere.
It hints at that, yeah.
Not just a quick look-see.
No.
And weapons were on board.
Swords, crossbows, even some early firearms.
Whoa, like proper firepower.
Initially, sure, for defense, pirates and whatnot.
Makes sense.
But it does kind of foreshadow what's to come.
Yeah, like not just...
They didn't really know what they were getting into, so they didn't know what they were going to encounter. So you need weapons. Barrel making, maybe you're going to need more barrels because you're going to load up on food or something. I don't know. Salt pork.
Peaceful exploration.
Sadly, no. That idea of conquest being there from the start.
You built in.
Yeah, it's important to see that, not some accident later.
And then the big moment.
As everyone knows.
October 12th, 1492.
Blaze Hall.
Can you imagine being Rodrigo de Triana, the first to spot it?
Up on the Pinta, looking out.
San Salvador, Bahamas today, but a whole new world back then.
Exactly. And then they meet the Taino people.
Now, I was taught they were primitive.
Oh, that's so misleading.
Yeah, our sources paint a different picture.
These are skilled people, farmers, fishers, social structures that Europeans just didn't get at first.
Complex societies, not just waiting to be discovered.
Right. They had their own thing going on.
So imagine these ships show up. How'd they react?
Not with aggression, surprisingly.
Right.
Food, water, gifts even.
Really?
It's what historians call passive resistance, observing, trying to understand this intrusion.
Smart, but, Columbus wasn't there for a picnic.
Oh, no.
His journals, man, obsessed with gold.
He even writes, I saw some ornaments and thought they might contain gold.
Classic.
Yeah, alliances were a means to an end for him.
To get that gold.
To please the Spanish crown, get those profits.
So the sources say even the Europeans, they were impressed by the Taino.
Oh yeah, their tools, their knowledge of the land.
But they lacked one thing, didn't they?
Metal weaponry.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, that technological gap, it had massive consequences.
Sets up this power imbalance from the start.
Right, and Columbus, he starts mixing tactics, gifts to be nice.
Sure.
But then intimidation, taking hostages even.
Not outright war yet, but
But it's a pattern, isn't it?
of asserting dominance.
Yeah, sadly.
So what happens next?
Oh, that's where things get really interesting.
Oh boy.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive to find out.
You won't want to miss it. So last time we left off, Columbus is mixing those tactics.
Gifts, intimidation, yeah.
Even hostages.
Not good.
What happens when he goes back to Spain?
Oh, he's a hero.
Of course.
Stories of these exotic lands.
And the gold, right?
Whispers of gold. Yeah, so he's welcomed back with open arms.
And
Honors, fund him for more expeditions.
those promises from the capitulations of Santa Fe, looking pretty good then.
Oh yeah, wealth, titles, the whole package.
So 1493,
Mm-hmm.
he sets sail again.
Round 2.
But this time,
He's not messing around.
no scouting party now.
Nope. Full-on colonization.
17 ships, over 1,200 men.
That's a statement.
Totally different vibe now.
Yeah, you can feel the shift.
From the sources, it seems like the relationship with the Taino, that changes too.
But yeah, at first it was curiosity, trying to coexist peacefully.
Right.
But now it's more aggressive, more about taking what they want.
No more gloves.
Get it.
We talked about how skilled the Taino were.
Mm-hmm.
Did they just accept all this? I mean, this huge influx of newcomers?
No way. They resisted Hex. Figures like Canabo rose up, rallied people to defend their land, their way of life.
But they were up against, I mean, a whole different level of technology.
Absolutely. Swords, crossbows.
Look at those.
Not just for show anymore.
Right, but the Taino, they knew the land.
That's true.
Did that give them an advantage?
To an extent, yeah. But the Spanish also had war dogs, advanced weaponry,
Oh, yeah.
and a level of ruthlessness that the Tainos just weren't prepared for.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, the Tainos are more communal, less focused on warfare.
And then the disease.
Yeah, always a tragic turning point.
Every time.
Smallpox, brought by the Europeans.
Just rips through the Taino.
They had no immunity, whole communities wiped out.
It's so unfair.
It's a stark reminder that conquest wasn't always about brute force.
Disease played a huge role,
Massive, devastating.
decimating indigenous populations all across the Americas.
It's a pattern.
And then, as all this is happening, the Spanish introduced the encomienda system.
Oh, we gotta talk about this.
It wasn't just about using indigenous labor, though, right?
No, it was way more insidious than that.
What do you mean?
It was like they granted colonists the right to indigenous labor,
Okay.
but under this guise of protection and conversion to Christianity.
Oh, so messed up.
Basically slavery, but dressed up with religion. It fueled their economic ambitions, but at a terrible human cost.
Exploiting the native population.
Exactly.
It's just awful to think about the suffering inflicted on the Taino.
Their world was shattered, their communities destroyed, all for gold and empire building.
It's just not, right?
And remember, this wasn't just happening on Hispaniola.
Right.
This was the
I understand. Yeah, it's not right. It's not good, sure. But you're saying this 500 some years later. We're not the same as we were. It's not right. But back then, what was wrong with it? You know, you just have to remember it's completely different times. You just have to remember that.
blueprint.
From that first voyage,
Exploration, exploitation, violence, all wrapped up together.
replicated all over the Americas.
Tragically, yeah.
We started this episode talking about ambition.
Mm.
Columbus, he achieved something incredible, you have to admit that.
In a way, yeah.
Opened up a new world, sparked this whole era of exploration, trade.
And exploitation, unfortunately.
Right. Can't forget that.
He connected two hemispheres that had been totally separate for who knows how long.
Changed the course of history.
But that connection, it came at a horrifying price.
For the indigenous people.
Absolutely. Millions lost their lives to disease, war, forced labor.
It wasn't just about discovery. It was the start of something truly terrible.
It's a legacy that we still grapple with today.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah,
it's complex, it's unsettling.
it really is.
Columbus the Explorer, He went back to Spain, a hero. But his legacy is forever stained by what happened to the Teneno.
The brutality of colonialism.
It makes you think, how do we look back on these figures?
Tough questions, no easy answers.
We've gone through a lot, haven't we? Ambition, those cultural clashes.
And the really dark side of things, the conquest.
It leaves us with this legacy, Columbus's legacy, still debated, still controversial.
It is tempting, to judge these figures from the past by our standards today.
Totally.
But to really get it, their impact, we got to see it through the lens of their time.
Agreed. We're not saying what he did was okay, not at all.
No.
But trying to understand him as a man of his era, those beliefs, the power structures, all of it.
He was shaped by that 15th century world, for sure.
And in that context, he did do something huge.
He did.
I'm glad they're saying this because it's important. You may hate what he did. You may disagree with what he did. But for the time, massive. And we can't rejudge people by putting today's morals on the past. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Opening up that new world, that's undeniable.
Exploration explodes, trade, sadly exploitation too.
Yeah, can't forget that part.
Connecting two halves of the world that had been separate for millennia.
It's mind-boggling when you think about it.
Changed everything, the course of history.
No doubt.
But as we've said, that connection, it came at a terrible cost.
For the indigenous people, it's horrifying.
Millions of lives lost, disease, the warfare, forced labor, all of it.
Empires built on suffering, it's a dark legacy.
And that's why his statues, they're so debated now.
Some cities, they're taking them down.
For many, he represents colonialism, oppression, all the injustices done to those communities.
Right, that's one side of it.
But then there are those who defend him,
Pointing to his courage, his skills as a navigator.
expanding those European horizons.
It's complex, just like history always is.
How do we hold both those things in mind, the good and the bad?
The triumphs and the tragedies, that's what makes studying the past so challenging.
And this debate, it's not just tea about Columbus, is it?
It goes beyond him. It's about how we tell history.
Yeah.
Whose stories get told, whose voices are left out.
It reminds us we can't just take things at face value. History isn't neutral.
It's always shaped by who's writing it, who's in power.
Makes you think about the narratives we're given, questioning assumptions.
Being critical thinkers, that's what it's all about.
And that's what we try to do here in our deep dives.
Go beyond the simple version.
Give a more complete picture, even if it's uncomfortable.
That's how we learn and grow.
So, for everyone listening, this isn't just about one guy, one voyage, way back when.
It's about that skill, thinking critically, seeing different sides.
Because those same things, ambition, power struggles, cultural clashes,
You're still happening today in different forms.
it's all connected.
So next time you encounter a historical figure, anyone, don't just accept the easy story.
Dig deeper. What made them tick? Who benefited? Who suffered?
What were the ripple effects, even the unintended ones?
Because what seems inevitable looking back,
Was actually the result of choices made, each one with consequences.
and understanding those choices, that's how we understand not just the past.
At the present and even the future.
Wow, that's powerful.
Something to think about.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I encourage everyone, keep exploring.
Keep questioning, keep learning.
History is full of surprises, waiting to be uncovered.
That's the beauty of it.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to our deep dive, everyone.
I don't know if this is really a deep dive. No. I don't really know if that was a deep dive. It was interesting. I'm glad that his voyage is complex. There was good in that he found new lands. It was bad because people were killed. Millions. So, yeah. It's interesting. It's dark at times, But I'm going to end this here. I was thinking it was going to be more than what it was. This is more of a podcast, so I don't know how many more I'll do. It depends on the topic they cover. So until the next time, have a good day, have a good night.